Today, we've dedicated 30 to 45 minutes every Tuesday solely to discuss about cybersecurity challenges the organization faces and possible tools or solutions that are available to combat this. Our topic for today focuses on coronavirus and remote working. But before I introduce our speaker, I just want us to have a little background. Now, according to former Cisco CEO John Chambers, he once said, and I quote, "There are two types of complaints, those that have been hacked and those who don't know yet they have been hacked." As cloud services increase in popularity, we can't deny the fact that a worrying cybersecurity trend has emerged. Recent studies and statistics reveal that 94% of malware is delivered via email. Phishing attacks, on the other hand, account for more than 80% of reported security threats. Since COVID-19, there's been a report of over 300% increase in cybercrime. That's a lot of figures, you know. Also, you have over $17,000 is lost every minute due to phishing attacks, while data breaches cost enterprise an average of 3.92 million yearly. Now, to cap all of this, one of the difficult things about the cyber security job is that even the right skill sets to fill all of this gap is not even available. So the question that comes to mind most of the time is that how do we bridge all this gap? To stop breaches before they start, prevention is crucial, you'll agree with me. Sophos Intercept-X consolidate the world-based endpoint protection and EDR into a single solution. So what we are looking at today is that how we can achieve with Sophos Intercept-X and EDR, how we can achieve the ability to detect, investigate, and respond to potential security threats on time. And to do justice to that topic is someone I would like to describe as very passionate about IT network and security. She has over 10 years experience in the industry. Please permit me to introduce to you our technical lead, Elizabeth Hakpain. But before I hand over the session to her, a little bit of housekeeping. I would like to inform you ahead of time that we will be recording this session for future viewing. Kindly mute your microphone so as not to distract the speaker. Also, indicate with a raise of hand if you have any question, and if you wish, you can type your questions into the chat window where we will be able to answer you. Thank you as I hand over the session to Elizabeth.
Thank you, Jumoke. Welcome everyone to this Sophos session. I'm Elizabeth Akpeyi, and I'm the technical lead at Ha-Shem Limited. Permit me to share my screen, please. Today, I will be sharing with you updates on how to protect your endpoints using Sophos Intercept-X, advanced with EDR, as well as remote working tips. I know many of us are at home now, working from home due to the current situation, and it's not been easy trying to attend to our end users remotely. We all have different challenges. The highlight for this presentation is actually the new EDR version 3 for Intercept-X Advanced. A summary of Sophos solutions, tips for remote working, protection, and a brief demo of some capabilities of the product will be discussed. For many of the attendees here, I'm quite sure some people are not used to Sophos as a security company. So I'll just give a summary of some of the solutions Sophos offers to its customers. Sophos has been a leader in the Gartner quadrant for 11 consecutive times in the endpoint and endpoint protection platform. For a quick run through, we have these Sophos solutions. Many other security OEMs do similar solutions which are analogous to what Sophos does as a security company. For device protection, we need to protect devices using Intercept-X. And we have various forms of Intercept-X. Intercept-X for the home users, for the office computers, and also for mobile. What does Intercept-X do for these devices? It exposes hidden threats. It isolates infected computers and systems. It blocks and prevents malware and exploits. Another product is the Sophos device encryption. It encrypts files on disks and PCs, as well as our Outlook attachments, in case we want to attach any file to any email that we are sending. I'm sure we know we have a lot of confidential documents we don't want to share with other people except the intended recipients. We can always use Sophos device encryption for that. Then moving on, securing the back office or our internal networks, which are on-premise networks or our cloud networks. We have Sophos XG Firewall, which is a hardware solution and also a virtual solution, which you can run on your own intended hardware. That means you can run the virtual machines on your own pre-built hardware. What the XG Firewall does, summarily, is that it protects the network using the Web and Application Control, IPS, Web and Application Filter, and it also protects on-premise email servers. We have the Sophos email security and phish threat. This protects emails on-premise and in the cloud. And the cloud emails, a few of them we have are the Office 365 and the G Suite from Google. Both XG Firewall and Intercept-X does web filtering. Mobile devices are protected by Sophos Mobile and Intercept-X. In the coming weeks, my team and I will present more on these solutions. Apart from all the above solutions, Sophos also has other solutions like the Sophos Wireless, which comes in hardware, and it can only work with Sophos wireless controllers. You have the controllers on the XG Firewall, and you also have the management from the Sophos Central. One thing to note is all Sophos Central solutions are managed, all Sophos solutions rather, are managed from the central platform, exclusive of the safeguard encryption and the Sophos Enterprise Console. These are to be discontinued from the Sophos portfolio. Now, talking about Sophos synchronized security. What is synchronized security really? From the Sophos end, Sophos synchronized security is actually the integration or the synchronization of the network security and the endpoint security. XG Firewall can be integrated to Sophos Central, and what will be created will be a heartbeat between the two products or any Sophos Central products at all. This ensures we get proper visibility to users' activities and being able to also respond to incidents faster and in real time. Cloud Intercept-X. This solution just delivers continuous analysis and visibility into organizations' networks. It can detect, it can respond, it can prevent security and compliance gaps. It also provides a single view of security posture and asset inventory across all cloud and on-premise platforms, be it Microsoft Azure, AWS, or Google Cloud Platform, Kubernetes, and infrastructure as a code environment. last year alone, there was a rise in the threat landscape. For the global network, the global surveys that we've had, Sophos carried out a survey from Van Boom, an independent survey organization, and they were able to give reports which shows that about 51% of organizations were hit by ransomware last year. Only 84% of these organizations have cyber security insurance. 26% had their data encrypted until they could pay the ransom before they were able to get back their data. It's not always advisable to pay the ransom, because sometimes you pay the ransom and at the end of the day, you don't still get your data. Organizations that were hit most with malware on their servers, which they have in the public cloud. I know this has been a controversial statement, but we see that many African countries have fallen for this attack. Nigeria alone has 43% of this malware breach. Other countries like South Africa has only 28%. For organizations that were exposed, that their data in the public cloud were exposed, Nigeria seems to be topping the charts. South Africa is still almost below midway, but they still had 28% of their data being exposed. In Nigeria alone, 11% of organizations have been victims that they were able to stop the attack on their data before they could be encrypted, because they had the rights and proper protection. 53% of the organizations, like we said earlier, were hit by ransomware just this last year. And the remediation cost that was paid to get data back runs into 214 million and 10,000 naira. For companies that had their accounts credentials stolen in the last year alone, Nigeria is still topping, but India is on the topmost level with 48%. And our other African country, South Africa, is 27%. Now, when we come to cryptojacking and cyber attack, what is cryptojacking really? We have crypto miners, people who just want to compete and get Bitcoin. All they need is high processing power to be able to ensure that they are having it. And where do they get this from? They get it from the processors of different computers. Now that many users are remote, organizations are forced to push their servers to the cloud. These crypto miners have now devised means to be able to use different attacks to be mine these servers. And that's where we are having Nigeria with 26% of this attack. Most of these attacks are in the AWS, Azure, and the GCP, as earlier stated. How do these attacks really come in? We've seen that majority of times is via misconfiguration on the servers, on the endpoints, on the network devices. From our chart here, South Africa has their stolen credentials as a major issue, while Nigeria's major issue or the big problem for the Nigerian market is the misconfiguration. And note, all these reports were done by an independent vendor for Sophos. You can go to some websites like techeconomyng.ng, sophos.com, itpulse.com.ng, Dynamic CISO, and you get all this information there. And the number of recipients that were targeted for these survey were actually above 3,500 IT managers across 26 countries from Europe, Asia, EMEA, and the Americas. Now, giving a brief overview of Sophos Intercept-X with EDR. Sophos Intercept-X does detailed forensic investigation and analysis. It helps with zero-day malware protection using behavioral detection. Before I move on into the comprehensive information on Sophos Intercept-X Advanced with EDR, I would like to talk about Sophos Intercept-X Advanced without EDR. This is a layered security where all traffic has to pass through the Intercept-X. We are used to the general or the, we like to say, the traditional antivirus that most people just buy with their laptops. You know, when end users come or vendors sell laptops, they just sell it to us. Sometimes it comes with some traditional antivirus. Traditional antivirus will not work all the time. Intercept-X Advanced blocks exploits using advanced exploit prevention. It uses CryptoGuard for behavioral detection to identify attacks. It can whitelist applications, especially for the server protection. Most times, some admins would want to run an application on a server. Intercept-X has a feature whereby you can lock down installation of any new application unless the admin is permitted to run those applications on the server. And this authorization will be given from the admin console of the Sophos Intercept-X. Access to USB flash drives, web and application control, web and application control is also something that XG Firewall has as a feature, as I mentioned earlier. And this blocks certain unproductive sites, not just unproductive. Some sites are objectionable and they are not supposed to, or they are not meant to be viewed by users. Some people view it privately, but it shouldn't be viewed on the network. It's not something that should even be, you should even be seen accessing at all. Endpoint protection from malicious websites, data exfiltration, and the different attacks. When there is an attack, there is no loss of data as long as you have Sophos Intercept-X Advanced integrated with the traditional antivirus. Most users are working from home now, so it's very mandatory that there is a prevention mechanism in place. Many of them want to connect back to the office via VPN. Most of them want to connect to Office 365. We need to ensure their systems are fully protected. Now for the detection. Intercept-X Advanced uses machine learning for reputation-based detection via deep learning model. Malicious threat detection ensures malicious activities from command and control websites or URLs are detected and blocked. Going back to synchronized security, as I mentioned earlier, it enables network security gateway and endpoint solutions to communicate and share information on the health status of endpoints and servers, as long as there is an agent on the endpoint and the server. Sophos XG Firewall would see all the traffic and be able to respond. And Sophos Central will also pick up the incidents and remediate accordingly. If XG Firewall exists in our servers, on our servers in the cloud, and we're able to protect our endpoints and servers, we can easily isolate infected machines. We can see root cause analysis to be able to investigate and get detailed information of what, when, why, how, any form of attack, when it happened, how it happened, why it happened. All these can be seen from the root cause analysis. And we have a map that shows you extension of if it's going into the registry, if it's going to another file, if it's connecting, it may be coming from a browser, it may be the source of the attack is shown via the graph. There are many ways ransomware can get into an organization's network. End users are the weakest link, and malware can be from any of these listed sources here. You can get it even from remote desktop configuration. We've mentioned earlier that misconfigured public cloud instances. It can be from a remote attack on a server. And the very prominent one, email with malicious attachments. And some organizations that still have some users allowing flash drives, they can also get ransomware from that. Intercept-X advanced with EDR can stop this ransomware from holding any organization hostage. We just need to put in the proper protection and ensure our configurations are done properly. Now, coming to this, for instance, a PC comes into a network. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes it comes with traditional antivirus. You don't even know this health status of the PC. You cannot determine if the regular antivirus is working fine. The user brings in the PC to the network. With a regular antivirus, which most times cannot find or determine the signature of different attacks or a malicious file, it just allows the malicious file to pass on the system. When most systems are brought into the network from either from the newly purchased batch, or it's not always advisable to just plug them in. I know most attendees, we have a lot of IT admins in our midst. Hello? Oh. We have a lot of IT admins in our midst. Most of these IT admins do the right thing, but some, I won't say it's out of laxity, or sometimes they are not to be blamed because they don't really have enough time to manage such situations. So Intercept-X with EDR has come to close the gap between good and bad files. CryptoGuard and behavioral analysis still does monitoring via HIPS. Today, most IT teams face a lot of challenges. There may be a question, why do I need EDR? Because I already have Intercept-X. Am I going to need to employ someone else to be auditing the Intercept-X, to manage the different solutions? Sophos has already considered all those challenges. Most times, the problem with the IT and security teams face, they don't have enough IT resources, they don't have enough time. It's either they are given targets to, and they are managing users, they need to meet this SLA, they need to do this, they need to do that. They have so many things bothering them that it gives them limited time to face the security measures they need to put in place in the organization. Sometimes the organizations themselves have lean IT resources. These IT teams are just too minimal, and they can hardly cope with the number of tasks they are required to do. Other times, they have challenges of not enough visibility. Attack breaches can most times go unnoticed for a long time. By the time the IT personnel will know what has happened, the breaches may have spread via a botnet, may have gone far on the network, and we now start talking about ransomware, encrypting files. It has spread to the file server, it has spread here, it has spread there. That's why we need to protect ourselves properly now. We need to protect the network properly against any form of data exfiltration or encryption of data before it becomes a full-blown attack. So EDR2 will help you detect the breach early, even before it starts, so that you can do the right thing. Many organizations have protection, like I said, which is key, but is not enough. Detection is required to capture what has slipped through the regular antivirus. And the response team will then need to do the remediation. Here we have a combination of solutions for best security. Intercept-X has been in the market for about 12 years before EDR was brought in now to enhance the protection and perform security analysis to make IT operations easier for all of us that are security analysts and IT administrators. For the organizations having challenges with lean IT or not enough manpower to monitor security, sometimes they usually outsource it to vendors or other, let's say we have the CyberSOC in Nigeria already existing. Sophos already has a solution for that called Managed Detection and Response. MTR is a team of IT security experts. They manage detection, response for any organization at all. All you just need to do is contact us and we'll get you connected to Sophos MTR. They help hunt for threats. They look for indications of compromise. They can notify us or the customers or anybody that is using their service of any irregular configuration. They do best practice configurations for you. They update patches when necessary. Another thing is that they do not just take action unless they have been given proper authorization, and the organization has to grant them this authorization. They have to give them authority to do anything. Then they also will send you a report of everything they have done so far. So it's not, you're going to be seeing real-time logs. So it's not as if they will just do things and the next thing you're complaining, why was this done, why was that done? Intercept-X root cause analysis would give us a summary of all infections where, when, and how it happened. It will also clean and block. And also tell us why a file has been convicted. Sophos Intercept-X EDR. Like my Sophos team like to say, they will say, EDR is a first for administrators and security analysts. But other organizations, I believe other OEMs also do EDR. It may not be called EDR, but they also do detection and response. So for us, always very easy to configure Sophos solutions. That is one thing I have proven. EDR can help security analysts and IT administrators. And if we have to differentiate these different roles, the IT analysts are the ones that are usually tasked with threat hunting, monitoring, investigating any form of threat, ensure that the IT policies are adhered to. In case you have policies on the network which says users cannot use flash drives, users cannot use PuTTY, users cannot use any desk. There are different applications that are not allowed on standard organizations with a good IT system. The IT administrators, obviously, we know most of us play dual roles. They are now tasked with ensuring that every information they have gotten or recommendation from the IT analysts are adhered to. They implement all the suggested measures. They can use SCCM to deploy, they can use group policy to deploy and ensure that most of these policies are done on the user's computers. Now with Intercept-X Advanced EDR version 3, Sophos has merged the roles of these security analysts and the IT administrators into one. So it's not a thing of saying that you really need to start segregating. Everything is now done for you seamlessly with EDR version 3. You can now monitor how resources are being consumed on a PC. You don't even need physical access anymore. Most of the users' computers, which are no longer on-prem, you can connect to them. I know some people use AnyDesk. They use all these forms of remote access to be able to manage these systems. Most times, these are not secure. Sophos can lock down PCs. This EDR, can lock down PCs. Any PC that is from an unknown destination that has been discovered can be locked down. You can isolate them. You can assist your end users remotely. You can update patches on their PCs because by the time you connect to them, there is a lot of things you can do on the machines. And another thing is, you do not really need to access the GUI. All you just do is access from the command line. We are going to be seeing much of that soon. Intercept-X Advanced with EDR also ensures we get real visibility into endpoints and all the programs that are running on these computers. You can get the hash of the file on all systems on the endpoint or in the cloud. You can remove the files automatically and across the network. You can list the detected indicators of compromise. These are already mapped to MITRE, ATT, and CK. And this is a company where they have a template that helps you identify exploit techniques on networks and also the vulnerable, all the vulnerable policies, all the vulnerable processes, All the ATT and CK templates are available on EDR at the moment. With EDRv3, The update enables us to use live discovery and live response. And for the live discover, this is simply an OS query that you can view online from the Sophos Central. You have several scripts and templates that can be copied and run on the EDR platform. When these queries are viewed, we can see most times the IT analysts, which are the ones hunting for the threat, are then going to use this live discover to ensure that they help do proper forensic investigation. Then the IT administrators would use the live response to remediate the attacks based on the IT analyst's recommendation. The live response enables the IT administrators to respond faster to any detected malware, remotely boot computers, run scripts, uninstall software, run PowerShell. And one thing to note is the user or the administrator that's going to be doing all of this has to be a super admin on Sophos Central. The user is not going to have any form of rights if the person is just an ordinary administrator, because we don't just want users to go to users, the administrator rather, to go to users' computers and try to do fictitious things. Even if that is done, Sophos Central has the audit logs. They can audit every single activity that has occurred within the Sophos Central and to connecting using live response to the user's computers. Like I mentioned earlier, MFA is required. The user has to be a super admin. Going on to benefits of EDR version 3. It's built for IT generalists and security analysts. It enables them to work faster and stay ahead of the competition. Already said before, protection is not enough. Another layer of security is really, really important if we want to protect our networks fully. Many SMBs do not have IT teams as they would have wanted, but with EDRv3, most of these jobs are going to become seamless. Most times you are asking, how will it feel if EDR comes in? Am I going to be overwhelmed with so much activities, with so much tasks? How am I going to be able to manage all the security threats, everything that has come in, all the logs I'm seeing? Intercept-X Advanced with EDR has made it very, very seamless. Now you can have access to threat indicators for the blocked files. You can see how the file was distributed. In case you have dropper.exe distributed via malware, it's already blocked. You can see that. You can request for additional details from Sophos Labs. And Sophos Labs will give you this information with machine learning analysis. You can clean and block files from all systems. You can actually get the hash of this blocked file and prevent it from running on the network any longer. I hope people are piling up questions for me. Now, what are the top 5 reasons we need EDR? EDR will give reports on network devices security posture at any time. In fact, everything will just be shown very, very plainly. It's something very, very interesting to watch, really. So you just be excited, oh, I can see this. I don't really need to go to the user's PC to go navigate. I know many other solutions may have something similar, but with EDR, it's actually very easy. Detection of breaches before they execute. Most times an attack will go unnoticed and could have been running in the background for a long time, and the IT administrators may not have noticed. Most times there is no IT security specialist in the organization. EDR would help you combat that. IT administrators can respond to fast incidents very, very fast as they occur. As mentioned before, you are not just adding the expertise of saying, I want to get new personnel. Some organizations don't have enough IT personnel. So you don't even need to employ. With EDR, all the expertise required can be seen from the Sophos Central dashboard. You would know how an attack has occurred, how to prevent its reoccurrence, and also build complete defenses with Intercept-X EDR. Now, this is just additional information to compare Sophos Intercept-X Advanced EDR for server with EDR with other cloud security solutions. We can see that Sophos already has so many things that have been mentioned: synchronized security, the managed detection and response, which if it's a service that if you don't have it embedded, you may need to purchase. For some customers that already have Intercept-X Advanced and do not have EDR, they would need to upgrade. But for customers that already have Intercept-X Advanced with EDR, all they just need to do is start up with the EDR version 3 via the early access program. And one thing to note, Intercept-X Advanced for server with EDR does not do patch management. You use your SCCM, WSUS, and others for that. Another feature for Sophos endpoint protection is to block peripheral devices for users. We mentioned earlier about blocking flash drives. You can actually determine which flash drives to block. You can block the floppy, you can block the wireless, or you allow it, you can block the Bluetooth across the network. One good thing which many users, not just IT administrators this time around, really require. Most times you say organizations need to give us free tools. Intercept-X for mobile is actually free, and I'll be showcasing that in my demo. It's very free. You can use it for web filtering, to check the different browsers on your mobile devices, your phones, your iPads, both Android and iOS devices, iOS supported devices, I mean. You can block applications. They already have different categories of applications on the Intercept-X for mobile. You have adult content, you have gaming, you have anonymizers, different application categories that you can block from Sophos Central. You can also use this because it's an all-in-one tool. You can use it for your secure QR code. You can use it for your authenticator when you require to get your pins for your multi-factor authentication. You can use it, and it also does password safe. By the time we speak on mobile device security, you'll be understanding other features of the Intercept-X mobile and the Sophos mobile security to manage your devices. So this is just a view of how Intercept-X for mobile is run. I just thought of putting this in for any attendee that is actually not an IT personnel. Most times, users bring in computers. Not only computers, flash drive. They may have taken them home for a long time. Even before COVID-19, we had issues where everybody wants to work. I just want to use my laptop. The laptop in the office is having issues, so I want to use my personal thing. We should have a mindset. We should not trust anything. We should always verify everything and believe that no device is inside the network. Everything should be taken as if they are external to the network so that we can prevent most of these breaches and malicious activities that occur. We should be able to control the devices that come into the network. We should be able to analyze the ones that are available and also secure them. To sum it up, we should not just assume that we cannot be hit by ransomware or any malicious attack. Everybody should be ready to protect themselves using the right protection solutions. Intercept-X Advanced with EDR is one of them. We should invest in anti-ransomware technology. Still the same, Intercept-X Advanced with EDR. Wherever we have our data, be it in the cloud, on-prem, anywhere the data exists, we should ensure the data is protected. I always say this to my users: ensure your data is backed up. Take proper backup of your data. Test it, verify the backup. Keep the data backup off-site and offline, because most times some people just leave their backups online and immediately an attack comes in. If the backup solution is not the one that already has the anti-ransomware protection, or you've not even protected the server, for instance, some of them may be appliance hardwares, then you are unable to get anything. I've been at a site where the backup itself was compromised, but because the backup solution had antivirus technology, it separated the compromise from the proper files. Many people are going into insurance, getting cyber insurance. Always ensure you get insurance for ransomware. Deploy multi-layer defense all the time. Don't just use traditional antiviruses. Use layered security. Use synchronized security from Sophos. Now, bonus tips to those working remotely. Most times, devices are not protected. Email is unhealthy. They just click on any malicious link. We should ensure we have web filtering. And the solutions that can do this is Intercept-X Advanced with EDR. Not just endpoint protection, but Intercept-X Advanced, which encompasses the anti-ransomware, anti-malware, exploit detection, and other features into the traditional antivirus. You can also ensure you protect your mobile devices, because most times many people connect their mobile devices to their working PC. They say they just want to charge it, or they just want to copy a file. For even those that have personal laptops that is not locked down from the office, they can easily be compromised. Another thing for IT guys is to ensure they know so much about shadow IT. Because for shadow IT, you have different departments that want to install their own applications. They don't want applications from, they tell you, they come with a justification saying those applications are what they require to do their job properly. And they get maybe one IT team to just help them. Okay, help me install it. Don't worry, I'll send your boss the proper mail to give approval. It happens in many places. And also, we need to always monitor and audit all activities on the network. For those with home Wi-Fi's, we should always use strong passwords. We should update all our applications and operating system. Don't leave your systems unpatched. because of malicious attacks. When using your password, don't always leave your screen unlocked. That's one key thing. When using your password, ensure that nobody is behind you that can easily watch and see what you're doing and get. Some people have very, very fast eyes to just capture what you've typed, and use very strong passwords, complex passwords, not just strong, complex. These are some of the free resources from Sophos: anti-phishing toolkit, Sophos Home, and the Sophos Home is free for users. You have Intercept-X Advanced free for 30 days. Hello? Sophos Home Premium contains Intercept-X. Sophos Home Ordinary is just the regular antivirus. It can still protect, but it will not give you anti-ransomware protection. Also, we have trials for email security and XG firewall, which users and our customers can always try out. Now, on to the demo session. Please, I hope you're piling up your questions. Just a minute, I need to get need to share my desktop. I trust everyone can see my screen. Wow, this is wow. Okay.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, a few seconds. I'm sharing a screen and all my. Oh, okay. I have to disconnect this. Okay. So let me log out of Sophos Central so that I can just do the demo session with you. Okay, I'm going to log in to Sophos here. Also, I'm going to be sharing my phone. I have a solution called Visor. So I'm going to use it for the, I just want to start from behind because I need to show people the Intercept-X Advanced for mobile. So I'm logging into my Sophos Central account. Just a second. So I'm required to use the OTP, that's the multi-factor authentication. So I need to get my code from the Intercept-X mobile. So I come here. I've already scanned the QR code while setting up the central account. So all I do is this. Okay, so I'm logged in. So we have the Sophos dashboard. Let's maximize this with details of all solutions Sophos offers, all Sophos Central solutions. So from the dashboard, I've already given an introduction to most of these products from Sophos. So because of time, I'll just go straight into it. Okay, from the dashboard, we can see the recent alerts from different computers. Okay, I have a user tire having malware tests done on PC03. PC01 is saying it's out of date. We can view additional alerts. We can check alerts that have been cleaned up. Okay. It's showing us that the attack is just a medium one. I can also do threat analysis. From threat analysis, I have a virtual machine already open. Okay. That's going to log into my other virtual machine. I have multiple virtual machines already set up for this demo. So I have one in the cloud and one on-prem. So for this threat analysis center dashboard, I can see different attacks or different threat cases. For instance, this PC03 as mentioned earlier, when I click on this, it gives me detailed information on the attack and root cause analysis. From here, I can see where the attack stemmed from. It was actually coming from a browser. This record. The attack was detected today by 3:46 p.m. Is it being cleaned? I want to check the detailed information for this particular attack. So I'm seeing the process detail. This process actually ran from Windows Explorer, though it has a good reputation. And we also see the bar showing us if it's going to be a bad reputation, and if they are both known by Sophos, and Sophos has deemed it a good reputation. So we see the process was executed by Tayo. We see the hash of the file. We see the process ID. The process has already performed 200 file deletions, 200 file reads. Registry has been accessed. So we also see where the beacon is coming from. Now I want to use Live Discover, which is a feature in EDR, one of the updates given in EDR. For instance, I need to be able to install Sophos VPN clients for my remote users, and these remote users cannot come to the office. So it's very mandatory I install the application remotely. So what I'll do is I'll take the PC, this PC, I'm going to try to discover the processes running on the PC, because I need to be able to inform the IT administrator on what to do. So I'll update my list. So I have different queries, different SQL queries, OS queries that can be run. I need to check for processes running on this particular computer. I may not want some applications to be on the computer. And for instance, what I mentioned was I want to install Sophos AnyConnect. So from here, I can see different processes running. I can see the history, process history. I can see the process tree. I can see the different SHA for different supported operating systems, the services that are running, everything on this computer. Let me check the process tree. Okay, let's do this. So I can run the query to get the process tree, and also be able to do live response from this machine. Okay, takes just a few seconds. So I have the PC already connected to, because what I want to do is I want to be able to connect via the CLI to the computer. And as mentioned earlier, live response would be sent to the IT administrators to be able to remediate and perform different tasks. For instance, uninstall applications which are unnecessary on the network. So what I do is I connect. I want to install Sophos Connect. Okay, that's fine. So I start. And what live response uses is Windows Performance Recorder. So this is the test PC now. If I'm sure, is it this or okay? This is the test PC. Certain this is it. Just a few. Oh, okay. Apologies, please. I need to. Okay. So we go to the programs because I want to install Sophos Connect. I need to be sure that there is no Sophos Connect existing on this machine. Okay, so I just have the endpoint agent. So let me get my commands. The first thing I want to do is need to make my directory. I just want to, you just bear with me due to time. I just need to copy all these commands. We can always get the commands online. MS-DOS commands from Sophos community, and we can just Google the MS-DOS commands of how to uninstall, install, and other activities from the DOS prompts. And one thing you should remember, like I have earlier mentioned, only the super admin has these rights. This, you can see that this account is a super admin, and I used MFA to log into the Sophos Central. So those are very key points to note. So I want to make my directory before then showing you that there is no Sophos folder in the C drive. So make my directory. Okay. Next, I need to. I want to change directory to Sophos because I want to run this via PowerShell. I don't just want to use the plain MS. So what I mentioned earlier is that I need to install Sophos Connect, and I don't have Sophos Connect application on this computer. I just created this directory for Sophos, so there is no file in it yet. So what I want to do is download. I first need to download the Sophos Connect.msi. This is very important for organizations because Sophos actually gives free VPN from their XG firewall. So you're not going to be paying for any VPN client. It's actually very free. So I will install that. Then I will install the configuration file for users. So it's still writing into the folder. So let me click. Okay, see, it's coming in. Okay, I'm going to install next. So I'm also going to, let me initiate the download for the configuration client. Okay, so the configuration client has started. So I'll just wait for it to be done in a while. Then I'll install the application still from live response. Is it the internet that is a bit slow?
A quick one, Elizabeth.
Yes, please.
So for this installation, can we push this installation remotely to a computer while users are working? Not necessarily that they have to be on-prem, because I just want to verify that once again.
Yeah.
That what we have right now is somebody that is working remotely at home.
Yes, this is a system. This is not local to my PC. This is, if you see, it's a public IP address. I purposely use the public IP. It's
that's great.
Yes, system. So this is the one I have on my local VM here. I'm going to also do some tasks here.
That's great.
So this is remotely now. I'm going to uninstall the Sophos Connect for VPN, so that you, instead of them bringing their PCs to the office, you can always reinstall this.
So, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question is this.
Yes,
for the users that we need to install for, is there any form of rights that they should have, or an ordinary user, let's assume a domain user for most environments that has joined systems to the domain, and just the user are just ordinary domain user, they don't have any form of administrative right. Would this run without any any admin interference at all?
No.
Or intervention, I mean.
It shouldn't. This account is already a super admin, so it's running via command line, so it's not going to have any intervention.
Okay. Then.
This user is just an ordinary user. Yeah.
All right. That's
okay.
Good.
Okay. I don't know why.
Yeah, I have someone with a question. I have Tunde Amo with a question. Yeah.
Okay.
You can go on with your question, Tunde.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you, Jumoke. All right. My name is Tunde. Just to have a better understanding of what Jumoke just asked you.
Okay.
Is a situation where, and I think what she was trying to say is, I'm not disrupting the end user.
No,
the person doesn't even know. The person doesn't even know I'm on his or her system. I'm doing all of this installation in the background.
Exactly.
I'm in, I do it, and I'm out.
Yes. And it's not just anybody. You can't just say you do it and you're out. Don't forget it's going to be audited, because some people may want to take this as a form to just do some funny things, there's this user I've been planning to deal with him. In fact, this is opportunity. No, if you're not a super administrator on Sophos Central, you cannot do this.
Yes, I understand that.
There's the role-based access control on Sophos, so and have that. So if you're not super admin, and with MFA, if you don't have MFA, it's been told everyone should use MFA for every activity, every connection they have to the internet. So you can see Sophos Connect file is already installed here. So I need to get
do we? Permit.
Yes, please.
Permit me. Are we supposed to ask questions as you go along, or we're supposed to wait? Because I have some questions.
Yeah, you can just ask, since I'm still showing the demo, because though I wanted to finish the demo before the questions, but it's fine. I'm just looking at the time, so I don't delay people.
Okay, so my question, thank you for this presentation. One of my concerns is, and I think is one of the concerns for my management is, how do we protect the end user, knowing that they are not on our network, they are using their personal internet, and we need to protect them end to end, whether the devices, the documents, regardless of the internet they are connected to. They want that, the management are asking questions around that comfort to tell them that, yes, the company's document information and then security threats are mitigated with our solution.
Okay.
Does this help, and how does it help?
Okay. Sophos Central has so many solutions to help end users wherever they are. Don't forget the first thing you mentioned, if they are not using your network. The users are not even on the network right now. They are away from the network. The protection should follow them anywhere they are going to. Because most times you have inbuilt firewall, you have the on-prem solutions trying to protect users. But Sophos Central is on the internet. So every activity from the user's computer, as long as the endpoint agent exists and an endpoint solution is installed, you can have device encryption installed. All our computers on the network have device encryption. So it's not a matter of my colleague is going to do justice to that next week or in the coming weeks. So you have device encryption for every single computer-owned asset. So it's not a thing of you're going to change the hard disk tomorrow. It's impossible. This has been tested and proven to work. It will not, the user cannot even do anything with the data on the hard disk. So you encrypt your devices. You have endpoint protection with Intercept-X Advanced with EDR. So that when you have malicious threats, like I mentioned earlier, USB. I'm going to show you the blocked malicious threats from the tests I did. You have USB connected to a computer. The phone was actually infected, and the next thing, it transferred the malicious attack to the PC, the user's machines. Everything just went encrypted, and it was on the network. It spun and went round to the different servers on the network. That happens. So device peripheral control is important for that.
Okay.
You have email security for your Office 365. If your exchange is online, it still protects you. And if you have Exview firewall, you can still use the email protection within Exview for your on-premises. within Sophos endpoint protection. You have application and web filtering. You can block applications. These applications cannot run. You allow them only for departments that require them. Some people, like now, I've installed Orbit, Internet Download Manager. What am I using it for? On a company-owned PC. It shouldn't be allowed to run. Let me show you something here. Yes, okay. So, for instance, so these are controlled items from this computer. So it's blocking proxies. It's blocking Internet Explorer 11 because it's an outdated Internet Explorer. It shouldn't be used. You should be using you should be using Microsoft Edge or Chrome or Mozilla, whichever is allowed in your organization. Windows Store has not been allowed on this PC. We've blocked anonymizer categories, those that want to do translation. You've blocked adult content. You've blocked different things. This is just on one PC that we're using for the test. This threat has been cleaned up. The threat was actually located in the app data of this computer. On the virtual machine, moreover, I already have my Sophos Connect installed. This is the agent running. I'm sorry, I need to monitor. Okay, we have so many threats cleaned up here. Trojans, malware. So before the user even knows what is happening, as long as the user just initiates it, it just shows that it's being blocked. Okay, I need to do this. I'm going to delete putty.txt. Let's say malware. Let me do some tests from sophos.com.
Okay, Elizabeth, I think we've eaten 20 minutes into
wow, oh my.
Yeah, so we've gone overboard. Wow. I will still have some people with questions.
Okay, please let them ask the questions. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So I think I have Mrs. Bernard. Yeah.
Okay.
I have my hands raised, so if she can come. So for Tunde, we can always, I mean, if you need more, even after this call, we can always have a session with you for more questions that you have. Even if we can't reach anyone, please drop your questions in the chat window. We'll take it one after the other. We'll compile it and send across to everyone that attended this. We'll send across to them So yes, Mrs. Bernard, can we have?
Thank you very much, Ma. My first question is on the antivirus.
Okay, Ma.
Because of the presentation, you said that traditional antivirus will not work. My question is, wait, I'm not true. It will not work alone without some other instruments. Now, why investing in antivirus if it will not work alone? Secondly, can you tell me that if I invest in securities machines, that it will work for me without investing in antivirus?
Sorry, I didn't get you. My security machines. What do you mean by security machines?
Sophos, for example.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Alone, without traditional antivirus, am I safe?
Yes. The thing is,
go together.
Okay, ma. One thing, ma. Before now, Sophos had Intercept-X, only Intercept-X, which was produced to work with any form of antivirus, any form at all. And this was upgraded because many users were actually asking if Intercept-X is actually this powerful, why is it not bundled together with the endpoint solution as a whole? Instead of having, I buy antivirus from here, I buy from there, then I come, I buy, I buy multiple solutions because I want security. It's an all-in-one security platform. So the OEM decided to create Intercept-X Advanced. That's why you have the word advanced, because it comes with both endpoint protection, which is already embedding antivirus, anti-malware, crypto guard protection, just name it, every form of security you want. Now, this remote working session is actually now bringing up tips and updates to the EDR that was added to the Intercept-X Advanced with EDR. So this live response and live discover I'm showing, it's actually an update to the existing Intercept-X Advanced with EDR. So I'm not saying you shouldn't patronize other OEMs, but don't forget, if you're buying Intercept-X Advanced with EDR, it's going to take off every other competing antivirus. So this is an all-in-one solution. You're not required to still have another form of antivirus.
Okay, and in the course of your presentation, you also say that we should always think that we can be hit at any point in time.
Yes, ma'am. It's just like...
Okay, you can go on.
Okay, ma. Yes, anybody can be hit because many people feel they can't be hit. And at the end of the day, they are hit.
I want to be hit.
If you have enough, ma, sorry, ma, go on.
If I have enough, I have Sophos, I have antivirus, and still I'm going to be on different layers of security before I can be protected. Okay.
No, ma.
Wait, ma. If I have all these in place, am I assured that I cannot be hit? Is there any assurance that I cannot be hit?
Great assurance you cannot be hit, ma. That is why. Ma?
What? No. Anyway, go on.
Hello, ma. I'm not hearing you, ma.
Go on. Don't worry. Go on.
Okay. Ma, there's a difference between Sophos endpoint protection and XG firewall. That's why we mentioned there's network security and there's endpoint security. Network security protects you from the perimeter. The endpoint security protects the end computers. So the synchronization of both of them is what you now call synchronized security. So it's not that you're just having the XG firewall and you're expecting it to protect your end computers. It will protect your end computers from when you're visiting malicious sites because of the web and application control on it and the IPS, and also the ATP. That's a different solution, entirely different from Intercept-X Advanced with EDR. Do you understand, ma?
I can see now.
Okay, ma'am.
That it is, and it's like the security has no limits. It's like you are going to continue to be acquiring them.
No, not necessarily, ma. You just need updates and patches, ma.
Okay, so if I may come in there, Mrs. Bernard, so if I may come in there is no end to security, as we all know. And there cannot be enough security put in place. So the most you can always do is for you to always have, as much as possible, as these threats become advanced as become advanced more, you also are putting in place the latest technology for you to be able to combat it. Okay, so because of time, I'm actually looking at time, and then we still have some questions on the chat window. We can always take this offline with you, and also I'm sure Elizabeth will do more justice and more explanation to your questions offline. So one of the other questions here I have from Bright, is this, Elizabeth?
Yes, sir.
Rather than wait to be attacked, can we run a VAPT using Sophos?
Sophos doesn't do VAPT.
Okay.
Sophos is not a vulnerability assessment solution. You can only use it to protect. You can run, what's it called? You can, okay, except maybe what he's trying to say is he wants to simulate, phish threats, then also use the Sophos Intercept-X Advanced to just scan what is going on currently on his network to be able to pick malicious traffic. So it's not, saying that, okay, it's a VAPT solution like that. It can give you some features, but not full blown, because you have some specific solutions that do VAPT.
All
Hello,
right,
do you understand? Yeah. So
yes, I think Bright is still on the call, but if he still has any question to that, he can actually put it in the chat window. We'll always get back to you. Yes, Tunde and Ms. Bernard, do you still have a question? But if you do, just put it in the chat window, because I still see your hands raised.
I have a question.
Yes. Okay, please.
And this is to Elizabeth. And just a quick addition, to the security experts in the team listening to this. Whether we like it or not, we have to be proactive. We shouldn't wait. We should think of all possible angles where attacks can come from and mitigate those possible attacks. Something happened with Twitter some couple of days or weeks now. Trust me, Twitter would have the best of the best security, firewalls, and the rest of it.
Yeah.
But guess what? They got attacked. And the preliminary findings had said that it was social engineering. How they got into the system, and then so we can't overspend and we can't underspend. We just have to keep being proactive about it. My question is this: Office 365. So we are migrating currently, and I know Microsoft has its own endpoint security, and Sophos. Now, I don't be biased.
No, it's fine.
Which would you recommend between the Microsoft solution, endpoint solution? That was why I put up that disclaimer.
Okay, which of the endpoint solutions are you having from Microsoft, please?
The advanced,
ATP.
I don't know, yes, ATP. And then the Sophos endpoint.
ATP plans 2.
Okay, you know what? Like you mentioned, I don't want to be biased. Every organization has pro OEM. Let me use it because it says you have some people, their core is Microsoft, their core is Sophos, their core is Cisco. I'm just giving that analogy now. Right now, I'm showcasing Sophos to you. I would tell you Sophos any day because I'm not a master in Microsoft. Jumoke will tell you Microsoft any day because she is an expert and a master in her field when it concerns Microsoft. So you understand, telling me not to be biased would mean you're asking me to give you ATP when I know more of Sophos than ATP. One thing is technology is the same globally. It now depends on how each OEM manages to fine-tune his own product to suit the needs of customers. ATP does wonderful. A lot of organizations have been using ATP. A lot of organizations have been using Sophos, Intercept-X, Advanced with EDR. There's no dispute about that. For yourself, the best thing for you would be to test both solutions. You have trial, test both solutions and decide for yourself. That's all I would say, because I wouldn't really want to be biased. You understand?
Okay.
I hope
so. Let me compliment what Elizabeth has said then.
Political response.
Hello.
I like that. Elizabeth, well done.
Hello. So I think
Can someone hear me?
Yes, please. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Professor Jumoke, just wait.
Oh, really? Nice.
Before you answer every, so that you can take all the answers together. Elizabeth, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Although I joined late, but for the later bit of it, I was able to grasp a lot of things. Thank you. I appreciate that. And your delivery was spot on. Okay, so I want to add to Tunde is my colleague, so okay, I want to add to Tunde's question, and you can't run away from it. Okay, so this is not political. We are all techie people here. So you have a good enough. You are providing the two solutions. So you are providing Sophos. You are providing. You are also a partner for Microsoft. So that means you can provide two. So based on this now, because we need it to form our decision going forward. We are using ATP Plan 2, and we also currently have a Sophos SG firewall. Okay, so but we are exploring what we additional endpoint security solution we can use. I think. Possibly that was why Tunde was asking you that question. So having this in hand, we appreciate, unless you want to take it offline, if you and Jumoke, maybe she's talking later, could advise, as you are the experts, among these two, which one will you recommend based on?
All right, sorry, I'm back. Yeah, I lost the internet for a while, and I think so. Like we said, yes, you rightly said we can take it offline. And moreover, one of the things I want to say here is that the synergy between Microsoft and Sophos is something that is very commendable, because one of the things they've done, what we've seen is that Microsoft and Sophos, form a synergy. You can actually use Sophos on Azure. So most of the time you have Sophos solution on Azure that you can put in there. Now, one of the things I would say concerning your question, which I will also take offline with you again, is this: when you are looking at mobile device protection, in terms of maybe apart from when you have done that. So I would say the solutions are actually complementary. Why I want to answer a bit of this question is because for others that are also on the call. So I'll say the solutions are actually complementary. So if you look at the MDM solution from Microsoft, yes, it will do some form of protection against corporate data on anybody's device. But then when you look at Sophos Intercept-X, you can actually have it also on your mobile device to protect your mobile device from end to end. So you have that form of synergy with it. Then when you talk about the ATP, and then you talk about the ATP for Microsoft, yes, each of them have their solutions and the manner with which they work. Now, the ATP is for Microsoft is actually made for Office 365. This doesn't say that you cannot also combine another ATP to use with what you are using. for me, in my environment, we use both. So the two is because of the complementary nature of both of them, we use the two. So for me, what I can advise and I can say is this, that the two solutions can complement each other. And that's the way it works. So even if you go, there's been a partnership, a synergy with Microsoft and Sophos. And then like I said, we can always take this offline and still discuss further on it because of time.
Okay,
so I hope that helps.
Okay, please, can I come in there? I want to ask, do they have endpoint protection from Microsoft? Is there any, because ATP, I know what he mentioned is for Office 365, not for physical computers.
No, so they don't have for endpoint protection, because you only get that with Windows. You only get that with E5, and that's one of the solutions. So one of the things I want us to take here is this. Like I said, for the tech security Tuesday, for the Tuesday tech security webinar, it is not one OEM specific. What we want to do is this. Cybersecurity attack is a threat to every one of us. So as many as possible, whatever solutions we have deployed in our environment that can help us combat this. So we're looking at it from the Sophos angle, we're looking at it from the Microsoft angle, we're looking at it from the Cisco angle, we're looking at it even from the Symantec angle. So that's what our tech security. So it's not like we are one OEM specific. And I think that's the reason why Elizabeth is answering your answer the way she wanted to answer. So one of the things we also do is this. Now, you have the endpoint protection is what we're talking about. What she's talking about right now is the endpoint protection. So ATP, we take care of your Office 365, not endpoint. Meanwhile, Microsoft also has its own endpoint protection solution, which is Microsoft Defender ATP. That is only available in Windows 10 E5, or if you buy M365 E5 version. That's a different story, because we're going to deal with that someday coming. I mean, in a Tech Tuesday also. So what we just wanted to do today is that for organization that has Sophos, and you have this already, looking at endpoint, you can actually leverage on your endpoint and do this. If you come and say, oh, you have Microsoft, if the version of your Microsoft is this also, one day we're going to do another seminar that will show you what you can leverage on Microsoft. So that's the whole essence of this call. It is actually not to be OEM specific, but as much as possible, we cut across the whole society, the whole industry, and look for the solutions that can help us combat cyber security attacks. So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, can I come in there? So Tunde, to your answer, just go for Intercept-X Advanced with EDR. That's the way to go for your endpoint protection.
God bless you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right. So, Jumoke, are you still on the call?
Okay. Yes, I'm still on the call.
I don't know. Do I still have time to take one or two?
No, this is 5:39. Okay. I think what we're going to do is this. I mean, somebody has last time that we should have made our session an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because we always say it is 1 hour, because we're also mindful of time for everyone. I think one of the things with this, we're going to bring Elizabeth back on the show sometime from now, where she will just do only demo. And I think the demo is what we will just have, and then we will look at. So, and then everybody can get the feel of how this works. With that, I want to say, Elizabeth, if you finish with what you've done, I mean, the demo so far, I think the questions overwhelm a lot of the demo. And let's see if I have any other question, but please bring in your question. Whatever question you have, put it in the chat window. We'll get across to you as much as possible and then be able to answer your question. Thank you so much for the time. With that, I want to say, if there's no more question, if you still wish to be on the call, I can leave Elizabeth to continue with our demo and whoever wants to be on the call. But I'll actually say that this is officially closed. So if you want to leave, then you may want to leave. I mean, and I appreciate the fact for you coming and then stopping on this call. I mean, the most we can do is just to help every organization to stay safe, even as we keep our bodies safe. So we want to keep our network also safe from all of these attacks. So come this Thursday, if you don't already know, we have our post-COVID-19 lockdown strategy. And one of the topics we'll be dealing with on this Thursday will be a topic on Windows Virtual Desktop. What we're trying to see is that, yes, organization, even though you're working from home, the reality that it's a lot of organization is that their users before now have been using desktop to work. And now with COVID-19, they still want to maintain the same experience. Do we now start purchasing new laptops for users working from home? No, you can actually allow them to work still with the laptops that they are using, and then you leverage on what is called the Windows Virtual Desktop. It's actually a desktop as a service. It gives your user the same feel as if they're still in the office. You can actually even put conditional access to it, where you can determine from which location, you can audit the location the user is coming from, put another level of multi-factor authentication on it, and that will be treated on the Microsoft on Thursday, and is on the Microsoft OEM. So we'll have a lot of goodies for you on Thursday. Like I said, we'll share the link to you. We'll be honored to have every one of you. Bring your questions along, bring those things that disturbs you. I mean, we are there to help you out and then to answer your questions. And then as much as possible, make you comfortable with the technology that works for you. So thank you so much, everyone, for the time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for those that ask questions, for those that listen attentively, and those that are also bringing their questions. So next week is another time for us to see you. Next week, Tuesday, we'll be on this same I don't want to call it channel. I'm tempted to say on this same channel, because now I've turned to a newscaster. Next week, we'll be having fish threat with Sophos, and then I have one young person to take us on that topic, so we can look at that and also have a feel of it. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye from my hand, and stay blessed. Have a lovely evening rest.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, Elizabeth.